We're live, folks. It's Joe Wainman, Monday Night Football. Now then, people, all that jazz. It's going to be an interesting Monday Night Football, I believe. Obviously, you guys will have all your comments on Spygate, and I think we're going to draw a line on it tonight under all Leeds TV. I'll say a few bits on it, we'll see, and then let's draw a line under it. I think it's been absolutely blown well out of proportion. I say draw a line on it. We'll have to wait until what sanctions, if any, the FA give us. It's highly unlikely that they're going to let it slide. Let's be honest. It's Leeds United. Someone made a good point in the media. If it's an English coach or whatever, it's probably, oh, look at him, he's doing well, he's getting an edge. But because it's Leeds, because it's Bielsa, it's not on apparently to all. But we'll touch on it a little bit later on. What I want to do is just quickly jump in and say hello to you guys who are joining us. Let's have a look. So we have got Conor, Joe Wainman's Barmy Army. We hate Lampard. Yes, son, Barmy Army. That's Conor from the channel, by the way, so feel free to grief him in the comments. It's totally fine. Let's have a look. Lamps is still crying. Big set. Come on, Joe, my son. Frank Lampard is a liar and a hypocrite. Not this much drama around tapping up. Definitely, mate. You've got a point there. Love Leeds says his Kiko defo coming. We'll touch on all these things a little bit later on. But we've got a Liverpool fan there as well. I'm a Liverpool fan, but I hope Leeds get promoted. Thank you very much, mate. Look, even Pep Guardiola's come out today and said he's a supporter of Leeds and Marcelo Bielsa. So there you go. We're coming, mate. Don't worry about that. Damar Facius just says Wagner's left Huddersfield. Really? Sacked? Was he sacked or has he left accordingly? Let me know in the comments. Get up the dog botherers. Sorry, I got a bit carried away with it. Right, okay, what I wanted to do, so basically, this is credit to Joe Urquhart. He'd gone through and basically everyone's commented on the fucking whole Spygate scandal. Basically what he's done is compiled a list of everyone that's commented on the old Spygate thing. Let me know, guys, what you guys think in the comments as well. You know, me and Conor are going on LS11 podcast on Wednesday, and no doubt we'll speak about that with Ryan as well. It's a hot topic at the moment. But what I wanted to do is just go through some of the ex-pros that have commented on the subject, some good, some bad, and let me know what you guys think. First of all, Jermaine Genius. Jermaine Genius said, if they didn't get a points reduction, I'd be surprised. How else do you lay down a marker for making it clear that this type of behaviour is not acceptable? Would a slap on the wrist be enough to make sure Bielsa doesn't do that? I'm more inclined to think they will lean towards that first. Genuinely, point deduction, I can't see it. If they did, fucking hell, they would have riots on the run. Can you imagine? You know, they took points off us and then they getting promoted went to the last game of the season or something and they took 3 points for us. It'd be absolutely crazy. And Chris Sutton at BT Sport came out and sort of supported that. What I've just said, he basically said, it's not worse than diving. Jermaine Genius talked about getting them deducted points. Come on, Jermaine, you're better than that. He's definitely not. He's an absolute cockwomble. Mauricio Pochettino, this was in his pre-match press conference. He basically said, I played for him. I learned a lot from him. I learned a lot, the good and the not so good. But look, there's nothing wrong. I always try to find information and to know a little bit more about what the opponent is doing. 30 years ago it happened in Argentina, but not only Marcelo. All managers were like this. Many other names used to send people to watch training sessions. Listen, it is what it is. A lot of it's public, for God's sake. Do you know what I mean? And let's be honest, Derby, the View, from where he was found, it's on public footpath. He's not broke any laws. It's there for all to see. You know what we should do? Next training session, all of us, get in a fucking coach and just go watch him, just for piss take. It wouldn't surprise me, Leeds fan being Leeds fans, that someone does do it. It genuinely wouldn't surprise me, just for kicks. I mean, you see how we all reacted on Friday night? All spies are we, within the first fucking minute. You've got lads taking binoculars to the games, kids with toilet rolls. It's classic Leeds, we love it. Do you know what I mean? Give them more ammunition. I don't care, they hate it, you know. They genuinely hate it. But I keep telling everyone it's our time, man. So fuck them. Fuck 'em, man. We going up, man. Honestly, I was bouncing at work today because, like I say, you know, I've got fans of all clubs at work, as you can imagine. There's a Derby fan in the corner shop just telling me there. He says, you fucking cheats, blah, blah, blah. I said, come on. Like, someone made a good point that Frank Lampard retaliated by sending 11 men to watch us play football. Because, to be honest, Derby were absolutely shocking, right? Bit of naivety from Frank Lampard. He just didn't know what to do. And, yeah, I mean, like you say, Pochettino says there's nothing wrong with it. He always tries to find information. For me, the information they'll probably try to find out was if Harry Wilson was going to play or not, and checking the shape and who was going to play in Harry Wilson's position. I mean, us at Leeds TV were in a bit of a privileged position, and we were contacted by someone that was friends with someone who played at Derby, and they told us that it was Bielsa that had actually sent the member of staff to go watch training. And Frank Lampard had actually been telling the lads in the changing room that he'd just had Bielsa on the phone. Now, I think it's Martin Keown, absolute knob, but he actually said that, you know, I think Frank Lampard allowed it to maybe affect the group a little too much, and that's his inexperience. I mean, definitely, because like I say, this player that basically told us the lineup and said that Harry Wilson wasn't going to play, and he was bang on with his lineup. You know, I'm not naming any sources, but you know, I've got the messages. The lads at Leeds TV will tell you. And his lineup was bang on, and he said Frank had been telling the lads in the changing room that he'd just had Bielsa on the phone. So he did let it affect them. Why does it need to go that far? Why do you need to go in and go, oh, you know, he was a Leeds lad, man. They've seen his shape now. What are we going to do? Do you know what I mean? The lads probably were affected by it. Bielsa brushed it off. Do you know what I mean? Straight away in the interview, yeah, it was me. So what? You know what I mean? You seen how mint they performed, and like when they tried to ask Cooper on the subject, and he went, listen, I've got nothing but good things to say about him. Them lads had run through brick walls for him. I would. And I don't even fucking play it. If Bielsa told me to run out that garage door now, I would. Do you know what I mean? In Bielsa we trust, man. In Bielsa we trust. Gary Neville of all people, scum. He basically said, surely, so basically, to give some context, Henry Winter had come out and made comments about it. And like Conor said in his post-match, I respect Henry Winter. He does say a lot of good things about Leeds United, and he's a decent journalist. I watch Sunday Supplement, and it's a good show. It's decent to watch. And he made a point on it. And Gary Neville turned around and said, surely sending spies daily to climb fences, hide in bathrooms with windows overlooking the training pitch to watch England sessions, and then disclosing your own country's team and tactics would be worse. So Henry Winter's trying to give it all holier than now, all these idiots in the media, yet they went and go against our own country and try, you know, put out in the press what the lineup, what the shape's going to be. And Henry Winter responded to Gary Neville, and Gary Neville said, no, answer the question, because it is worse. Bielsa's got someone stood on a public footpath watching Derby train, right? This guy is sending covert agents into hotels, spending money to book hotel rooms or bathrooms or whatever, getting them into these hotels, because let's be honest, where England are going to train for a World Cup, they're going to be fucking, they're going to be expensive hotels. So they're putting out cash to send these guys over there, hiding bathrooms to take photos of our national team training, setting up, to then put in the papers. And they want to call out Bielsa for sending someone. Do you know what the funny thing for me, when it first came out, and I seen the picture of the lad in the black Marriot with the green coat on, I was like, right, it's a Leeds coat. It definitely looks like a Leeds coat. But he had some knackered, fucked up Nike, white Nike Max. And I looked at the photo and I went, nah, I'm not having that. That's just some Radji, that from fucking Beeston, who's just shown up. There's not a chance that's a Bielsa's lot with them Nike Maxes on. But yeah, it turns out it was. Michael Owen, absolutely, I can't stand him as a commentator, you know, to be fair. But he comes out and says, can't help but think people are getting slightly carried away with Bielsa sending somebody to watch an opponent's training session. It's been happening for years. While I accept it's morally wrong, it's hardly a criminal offence. I don't even think morality comes into it. You know, Joe Urquhart's done a piece tonight. If you get a chance, go on Twitter and have a look. Him and Phil have both spoke on the subject. And he actually speaks about morale and how, for example, you know, Eddie Howe was lauded for taking Bournemouth into the Premier League and absolutely doing mint. But if you had a look at the books, they breached financial fair play. And they were absolutely in disarray. But 3 years after going up to the Premier League, they were then charged and they got a measly fine of 4.3 million or whatever it is. But they've been in the Premiership by that point for 3 years. 4.3 million, it's pocket change. Do you know what I mean? So, English game, morality, there is none. Tapping up happens. Our England manager, for God's sake, Sam Allardyce, he was in the England job. Look what he did, do you know what I mean? Don't tell me that don't go on. So some guy who's manager of Leeds, that's the main point, he's a manager of Leeds United, that's the issue, and he's taken them to the top of the Championship, destined for the Premier League, and people can't hack it. They can't hack it. Some idiot on Twitter put, I think the Square Ball responded to him, he was a Derby fan, and he put, oh, that's another team to the long list of teams that we've, like, got against us, ha ha ha. What do you mean got against you? We've put 6 past you. You scored 1. So if you think this Spygate, by calling us cheats, has got us triggered, you've got another thing coming, son. You're 6th. Do you know what I mean? We're top of the league. We're not bothered about Derby County. And Frank Lampard, for that matter. You know, he's come out tonight in his press conference and said, oh, there's been a lot of stuff gone out that Chelsea used to do this sort of stuff. I never knew about that. Don't talk shit. Don't talk shit, Frank. Do you know what I mean? As Conor kept calling him on the live stream, Fat Frank. Do you know what I mean? Don't talk wet. Do you know what I mean? Don't talk wet. Martin Keown. So Martin Keown, moving on. Football Focus. He says, not happy about it, obviously. The moral code of sport has been severely breached here. It's almost a Johnny English moment, isn't it? With bolt cutters, binoculars and a ladder. We're 27 games into the season in the Championship. What is it Bielsa doesn't know already about Derby County? Well, you see, this is why I took umbrage to what Bent said as well after the game. Bent said, I don't get what he's getting from it. Well, this is why he's one of the best coaches in the world. Because he goes through things with a fine tooth comb. There'll be things that he does that people will be like, what the hell? Do you know what I mean? So this is the thing. Like, these people are like, I don't even get what he's going to get. You know what I mean? What do you mean? He watched all our games last season. This is why he's a great coach. You just don't have a clue. And you know what I mean? Michael Brown, when he smashed your head with that football when we played Arsenal in the FA Cup, you know, must have done something to your brain cells, Keown. What a funny moment. Someone put a compilation on Twitter where he was speaking on the subject. And then all of a sudden it just cut and the ball smashes him in the head. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Michael Brown spoke about that actually on, what's the podcast? Under the Kosh podcast with Parkin and Brown and the comedian guy. And he speaks about that moment, and apparently Martin Keown was looking for him all afternoon. If you haven't listened to that podcast, give it a listen, lads, because it's quality. So he goes on to say, why does he need to have a spy there? It's ridiculous. It's overstepping the mark. I think Lampard has allowed it to maybe affect the group a little too much, and that's his inexperience. And I told you what Lampard did. He was telling all the lads in the changing room, and it obviously has affected him. I mean, don't get me wrong, we beat them anyway. Before Spygate, when we battered them to start at season 4-1, I think this was an even better performance though, because Derby didn't even have a sniff. It says they're role models. It wasn't breaking the law. It was a public footpath. Exactly. But I think we all know in sport you don't need to really do that. I've lost a little respect for him. Do you think he's arsed? Because I ain't arsed. And I'm just some guy sat in his garage. Do you know what I mean? Do you think Bielsa's losing sleep over Martin Keown? Give over. Matty Upson, also Football Focus, said, I don't care much about the story. It's stuff about nothing. It's a guy trying to get the edge on an opponent. If Bielsa is comfortable with himself and morally about what he did and how he knows to win, and how he wants to win, then that game and that kind of result, that is entirely up to him. Yeah, exactly. And he is morally happy with it. He said so himself. He doesn't care. He's openly come out and explained it. Has he crossed the line? I think so. I think it's more an embarrassment to need to get that kind of detail on the game. So do you think he's embarrassed? So do you think people are looking at him going, you're embarrassing, son. You're going to that lengths to try win games. You're embarrassing. Really? He's top of the league. With the same squad that Paul Heckingbottom had last season. And you think he's going to be... I don't think so. Give over. Now this is the main one. Stan Collymore. Stan Collymore makes about... He's got 7 different points. Okay? So we'll go through them. Guys, I know you're all commenting and I'll get to them. I promise you I will. Because like I say, I'm on Yorkshire Evening Post here. Once I've gone through this, I'll go and I'll read your comments and we'll read some of them out. So Stan Collymore says, 1, okay, every player and manager coming to England should receive information as to how the sporting culture works here. So what, they come over, before you come over, a bit like a fucking, I don't know, if you wanted to take citizenship or something, you have to give them a test and tell them certain things that we do over here, sporting culture-wise. Give over, like, come on. And let's be honest, the English game, people are going on like it's whiter than white. It stinks. Do you know what I mean? It's full of bigots, to be honest. The FA is full of bigots. Do you know what I mean? Look at the Lucy Ward case at Leeds United. It's still not been answered. Do you know what I mean? The sexism case, what she did for this club, and it's still not been answered. And you want to talk about, oh, they should receive and tell them our culture and stuff. Honestly, and then he says, I've talked about English sporting culture. Before Suarez's Negro, acceptable in Spain, LA, in many countries, cheating is an accepted part of life. So it's important that players and managers working here adhere to 100-plus-year-old sporting customs. He says, pattern of play, team shape is important. Those saying it's not are destroying their own argument. Why have a spy there in the first place before both games? Okay, yes, so pattern of team and shape, yeah, I totally appreciate that. It is important, and that's probably where he went. He says, Biel's a great manager, doing great things, but the cultural argument is frankly bollocks. He's a thorough man and would more than prepared himself for the idiosyncrasies of English sporting culture. Yeah, he knows that the fucking media are absolute divvies. That's why he pretends that he doesn't have a word of English in him. So he doesn't have to do he hates doing all that media crap, do you know what I mean? Lampard, he goes on to say, the fact that training was stopped and therefore a blatant disruption of preparation for the authorities doing their jobs properly should mean the result is null and void. It's inconceivable to imagine significant disruption didn't happen. Mate, there's some guys watching the game. Like I said, us at All Leeds TV and you guys watching this stream, we should all get together, yeah, and go down to Derby's training ground. I would love it. I would love it, honestly. And just all stand there in Leeds gear. How funny would it be? Binoculars out and everything. We'll go do it and disrupt the training. Because if that's what it takes to disrupt your training, then there's something wrong. You know, Paul Gascoigne comments on it later on, and we'll get on to Paul Gascoigne. Fair play. I mean, his English is worse than mine, don't get me wrong, but he makes some good points. If that's enough to disrupt your game, then, do you know what I mean? I question you as a gaffer and as football players, and Paul Gascoigne does exactly the same. You know, he goes on to say, for fans who think 5 is harsh, so if he thinks the game's null and void and we should replay it, I'll point you to a simple fact. There's a reason why this doesn't happen every week at training grounds up and down the country. It does happen. It does happen. It's just someone hasn't been frank enough to come out and say, yes, I did do it. So what? Do you know what I mean? He said it's cheating. And cheating within FIFA law and sporting code should be dealt with. He says it doesn't matter who the two clubs are. Put Villa and Liverpool in if you like. I disagree with that. If it was Villa or Liverpool, he wouldn't have the same standpoint. I don't care what you say. Listen, if you're a fan of a club and it's your club, you stand by it regardless. He said, if any fan doesn't understand the premium around good preparation for a match and the gains potentially had by doing that in private, is condoning cheating, whoever you support. So when people have open training sessions and they let people view, like what's that mean? Is that not... Do you know what I mean? I don't understand. He basically said his conclusion is we should be sanctioned by the FA for unsporting behaviour and at a minimum being made to replay the fixture. Do you really think if we replay that fixture, Derby, you're going to beat us? You might as well just fucking take the 3 points off and pretend we've replayed it and give it us back. We could play them 10 times over and they ain't beating us. Bielsa's got Lampard's number. Leeds have got Derby's number. Fact. They're the one team out of anyone that have caused, like, if you look at the aggregate score, for example, 6-1, and the way we've been able to dominate the game, if anything, I'm trying to think of a team that we've dominated as much as that. Genuinely, guys, let me know in the comments. Have we dominated anyone as much as we've dominated Derby this season? I'm not sure. He says, I'm also presuming Bielsa did this from day one of the season. Probably. Meaning at the start of the campaign, where everyone is equal on 0 points, there's an argument that Leeds use spine to gain unfair advantage, which is why we have rules and protocols. I wouldn't say everyone's fucking even. I mean, look at the cash some of these guys have got. Look at the Bournemouth example. You know, they breached financial fair play in bringing all these players in and got promoted and then got sanctioned 3 years after being in the Prem and had to pay a measly fine. So, is it fair? At the time, if Bournemouth were breaching financial fair play, they should have just fined them there and then. Game over. But no, it doesn't happen. Keith Andrews at Sky Sports. I'm not going to go over him. I don't want to give... I absolutely hate him. And if I ever seen him, I would tell him so as well. He's an absolute weapon. Has no clue and needs to sort his hair out. I know that sounds a bit childish, but just sort your hair out, mate. Charlie Nichols says, Champagne Charlie, I take that as I take it that it's not sportsmanlike, but any angle you can take in the modern day game. Are you telling me Frank Lampard in the past with teammates in the opposition that they don't find out who's in and who's out? What's the dramatic difference? If someone is suspiciously hanging around the training ground, it happened a lot in my day, it's just something you expect. Now the modern way is everything that has to be professional. Well, it's all about results. So let's take, for example, the Man City game against Liverpool, where the grass wasn't watered. Yeah, look at the clip of it. There's brown patches everywhere. And that was done to slow Liverpool's passage of play. Yeah, from what you read. And it was evident, because look at the state of the pitch. But because it's in the Prem, and because it's Pep Guardiola, because it's City and Liverpool, that, for me, that's unsportsmanlike behaviour than having your mate fucking Diego go watching the game. Do you know what I mean? All he did was watching training. Do you know what I mean? So, let's have it right. Jonathan Walters says, fair play to Bielsa for not trying to hide out what he's done. I know of worse that has happened for and against. Let's not pretend it doesn't go on. And that's from a guy in the game playing, you know what I mean? You're telling me, like, lads who are playing don't, oh, so-and-so's not playing this game, you know. Come on, it happens. Sorry. And then lastly, Paul Gascoigne. Paul Gascoigne had a few bits to say on Twitter. Basically, Paul Gascoigne came out and says, so you'll have to bear with us because, like I say, his English isn't great. It's worse than mine. But he says, just wanting to say about the Leeds head coach getting some crap about him having a spy watching how Derby played. And then he puts, to all commentators, shh, for fuck's sake. When I played, I did not give a fuck who spied on me. So spy watch me, seeing how I played. I would play shit. Bullshit. Accept it. You got beat. He then goes on, sorry, I'm fuming. Imagine me going into my manager saying sorry for playing shit because a spy at the gates was watching me train. And he says, to all commentators, are you getting paid extra for talking shit? Do you know what I mean? It seems to be, that, listen, they've always got an agenda. They have an agenda against, you know, us as a club. The media does, the fucking, let's be honest, let's not, it happens, right? They have an agenda. And look at Rio Ferdinand, scum, by the way, last night talking on the Mike Ashley and Richard Keys coming out and supporting him. What an absolute fool. I think a lot of it, they just do it for attention half the fucking time. But he says, yeah, you're getting paid extra for talking shit. I'm sure Frank Lampard after the game said, sorry guys, we got beat because a spy watched us. He basically goes on to say as well, nice bit of knowledge, he said, Bill Shankly's house overlooked Everton's training ground. So you telling me the Everton players said, I don't want to play against Liverpool because Bill Shankly seen me train. He said, I was spied on when I was 17 years old, so I what should I do? Pack him playing football? Get scared of match of the day. So there you go. That's fucking Spygate, man. That was people in the media talking wet. And I'm going to go on to your comments. We've got quite a lot of people watching us. So thank you so much for the support. Let's see what some people have had to say. Let's have a look. Not that much drama around tapping up, exactly. Good evening. Wagner's left. Let's have a look. Sorry, guys. Yeah, Danny Winters. Stan Collymore. A wife beater talking about morals. Exactly. I didn't want to go there, but you make a you know, 100, like, what a point. And let's have it right. He's a dogger as well, right? Do you know what I mean? I'm all for if you're into that sort of shit, go ahead, mate. But come on, do you know what I mean? You can't talk about morals in football. Do you know what I mean? When you fucking beat women, like, let's be honest. Like, look at the anyone who's like talk sport over the years that comment when the Chelsea, I think it's a Chelsea fan, he rings up and basically says, "Oh, did you see how Frank Lampard hit that penalty?" And he goes, "Oh, yeah." And he goes, he hit it as hard as you hit Eureka." Do you know what I mean? Anyway, sorry, I shouldn't really go there. Conor says, Bielsa needs an English management visa, doesn't he, Wainman? Exactly, yeah, that's stupid comment. Like, can you imagine that? Like, all these mint managers. "Oh, just before you come over, we need you to come and see the FA Council. Or sit down at a table. Right, we're just going to ask you some questions and make sure you understand the customs of the English game." Basically, you know, betting and that you're allowed to do. You know, tapping up you're allowed to do. Financial fair play, yeah, we don't mind that. Don't ever watch someone training, mind. Don't stand on a public footpath and watch them training. Just don't do it. Do you see what I'm saying? It's absolute codswallop. Conor says blood pressure. Mate, you can talk. You're just as bad as me, son. You when we get going. Elegant Lever says Kevin Kilban was lauding Leeds on Football Focus a couple of weeks back, saying how he couldn't wait for Leeds to be back in the Premier League, and Keown was saying, "Well, you might want them back. I don't." Why though? Do you know what I mean? Because you got hit on the head by fucking Brown, of all people. Do you know what I mean? You could ask him to do that 10 times over and he wouldn't be able to wait it. Rude Boy Coy says, latest post, Lampard had been in tears judging by his eyes. It's hilarious, check it out. Okay, I think let's do it. So, yeah, Nigel Carr, what about Stan Collymore sticking his nose in arsehole? That's the freak who got caught dogging. Tiger Steel, laugh out loud, they are treating Bielsa like he is an immigrant, and comparing Bielsa to that rat is laughable. One bites, the other spied. Yeah, Suarez, yeah, exactly. You're totally right. Dilip Kednan says, it seems all of these ex-football players don't want to see us being successful. That's what it seems. And that's the truth. And you know, sorry, someone made a brilliant point, yeah? So basically, if you look at the names mentioned, all the has-beens and all the shit ones are the ones that are wanting points deduction, yet all the ones that have competed at the top of the game, take out Frank Lampard because he's a weapon, but all the ones that have competed at the top of the game, you know, Michael Owen, Gary Neville, Paul Gascoigne, all these, Pochettino, Pep Guardiola, they're aware that this goes on because they're at elite level. They're aware that this goes on and Bielsa's an elite manager. Yet all the also-rans and all the Muppets, Collymore, Andrews, Janus, Upson, they don't fucking have a clue, do you know what I mean? So, listen, don't be arsed by it. Let's just see what the, and let's be honest, as Leeds fans, we enjoy it that people don't like us. It's the truth. We enjoy it that people don't like us. And they don't like us because they're not us. I mean, look at the scenes. How many, look, you look at the Premier League, like my brother lives in London, he used to go to the Leeds games, doesn't anymore. He's not really, don't really follow it, goes to a few grounds in and around London. And when we were doing We Are the Champions of Europe, he even commented, said, you won't see that anywhere really. You know, Liverpool maybe, you know, Newcastle, but places like Arsenal and that, nah. Or Chelsea, nah. Atmosphere-wise, I just don't know. We're a different breed, personally, for me. You guys might disagree. But, you know, we're so tongue-in-cheek. The comments, you know, all spies out, the guys bringing... I've touched on it before, the flat, the scarves, you know. Oh, that's a point. Leeds v Norwich. 37,900 tickets sold out in an hour and a half. An hour and a half. 37,900. That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And that's what happens. Like, look, listen... So I forget who it was said it. I think it was the guy who used to play for Bournemouth on the debate show with Charlie Nichols. Let me know, guys. He came out and said all this will do will galvanise Leeds, make them even tighter, make them even stronger, and that's all it has done. Look at that. Leeds Norwich, massive game. Don't get me wrong. I think Norwich will start to fall down a little bit. I said it weeks ago as well. I just don't think they'll stay up there. But it's a massive game, you know. We've got Stoke Rotherham, and then Norwich, and what a game. I think we'll be on a 3-game win streak by then. Derby, 1. I think we'll beat Stoke on Saturday. I'm going. If anyone's going, come over and say hi. I've never been to Britannia. I'm really looking forward to it. And then Rotherham away, which I think will be tough, to be honest. But that Norwich game's massive. And the fact, as a fan base, we've sold out near enough 40,000 tickets in an hour and a half. Unbelievable. So pat yourselves on the back. And look what it's done. All this Spygate shit and that. It's just made us tighter. And people can't wait to be back at Ellen Road. Let's have a look. Elegant Lever says they cannot punish the club as the club didn't know. Mate, they will. It's Leeds United. Of course they're going to punish us. Let's be honest. They'll make up a rule. They'll find a rule in somewhere. Or they'll make an example of us. And then put in a rule. And then everyone will be treated less than that. Do you know what I mean? It's just a fact of life. Reece Durkin says, I wish I could go to watch Derby's training session as Lucas the Cop Cat. Honestly, can you imagine if everyone turned up? It'd be absolutely unreal. Everyone talking about Stan Collymore, for example. Chris Ainsworth says, replaying the fixture would be a punishment for Derby. 100%. Is scouting cheating? I think not. Yeah, I suppose it's a good point, mate. People are going to watch other players. Christo says, I love Bielsa's style. He basically looks like a guy who is set on a project and will do absolutely anything to complete it. He looks proud of his team and how they are playing for him. Listen, Bielsa, that's what's, for me, you know, he got offered jobs in the Prem, Swansea and stuff like that, and probably many more that we know of, but he's seen Leeds, like, and seen it as a project, and look what he's done, man. Look what he's done, and look where he's taking us. And listen, I dare say, would there be? I don't know. Like, I'm toying with the idea, but there'll be something in that club for him, man. Because he's going to go down in our history. I've already said myself, if we get promoted, I'm getting El Loco tattooed on me somewhere, 100%. Wise Peacock says, not interested with what people think about LUFC. Us against them is how it will always be. We're going up. Get used to it. Exactly. It's our time. Our time. Yeah, Henry LUFC says no, maybe Ipswich, but still no. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's in reference to us dominating teams. I don't think we dominated anyone. So let them play the game again. We'll play Derby every week if we can, Stan. We're happy with that. Reece Durkin said, imagine how much prep Bielsa would put into a replayed fixture. That'd be almost sad to watch. Derby getting battered that badly. Jaggy Bab says, have you heard of rumours of Phil McCracken signing from the Scottish League? I'm not sure, mate. I know we'll be doing our transfer Tuesday live tomorrow, so anyone who's not subscribed, make sure you subscribe now. Hit the notification button, hit the like button, put your notifications on and hit subscribe, because like I say, we've got a lot more live content coming up. Myself and Conor will be down at LS11 podcast on Wednesday morning. And we'll be doing hopefully a preview with Ryan from the Pigeons as well, so we'll have that later on in the week. Yeah, Christo says, remember the team that painted the away dressing room pink to put us off? That was Norwich. Absolutely terrible. Old Gardener Guy, Finland. No need for spying on Leeds. Bielsa gives out his team sheet before every match and gives every team an unfair advantage over Leeds. And still we're top of the league, exactly. There's stories come out about him where apparently he's like compiled videos and like when he was at Bilbao and that. Give them to other managers. As if to say, look, this is our training session. This is how we play. Doing the job for them. Do you know what I mean? So he's a nice guy. You know what I mean? He's not morally wrong. He's just a nice dude. Yeah, infectious. I think it's the word that people are overreacting about us. He was just watching them train in an open place. Gaza for England manager says zero cool. I'm game for that. Bring your chicken. I'm all good for that. Zandra LaPaul says most of the ex-pro commentators are belters. Yeah, absolute weapons. Let's be honest. I mean, I know Newcastle's off topic, but what Rio Ferdinand was saying last night about Mike Ashley, you know, and then Richard Keys commenting on it as well. Isn't it funny though how Rio Ferdinand has just done a deal with Mike Ashley for his 5 brand to go in Sports Direct? Do you know what I mean? So it's obvious he's going to come out and support the guy. And they talk about morals and, you know, doing things the right way. That guy there basically sold his fucking brand or whatever to Mike Ashley, and then he's going against the whole of Newcastle just to be like, oh, Mike, yeah, absolute wanker. Yeah, Mr. Taxi Music, get a haircut, Andrews. You're a letdown. Let's have a look. Liam Horsley, old Joe, aren't we? Thank you, brother. Philip Million says, bet the FA sanction us for the simple fact Lampard is Derby's manager, so they will think because if one of England's ex-players been made to look stupid, they will try and look after him. You know, I've seen someone make a comment on that as well and said it'd be funny because if it was an English manager, one of these young lads, you know, Gerrard, Lampard and that, nothing against them direct, you know, they're good pros, but well, I have got something against Lampard now. But if it was them, it'd be, oh, look, it's innovative. Look at him doing that, you know, slap on the wrist. You've done well. He's looking for that extra edge. But because, in effect, the media see it as it's been done to one of our own, they don't like it. Let's have a look. Josh Baker said, if that needs replaying, then why does the Brentford game not need replaying? As that was disgraceful, yeah. I mean, listen, I said after my pre-match, it was like that man, the referee had an agenda. It was like he'd been given an... I mean, the offside, for example. I said in my pre-match I had to go at the ref. Yes, he gave the pen. But, you know, as an entity, the whole officials that game were they were shocking. They did their best to try and fucking stop Leeds United. But listen, once we get going, you know, we can't be stopped. Ewan Nelson said, just saw Jack Clark whilst biking past Nando's. Really just shows how young he is. What, he was on the bike, or you were? Elegant Leather says, football is the most crooked game in the world. Officials, bosses and players alike. So this would open up a massive hornet's nest if we got punished. Tread very carefully, FA, AFL, pundit, knobheads. True. Philip Million says, how do some of them get employed? Exactly, mate. Some of them are absolute weapons. All Things Leeds, Ed says, hashtag super wank Lampard. Like that, you know. Jake Jarvis, yeah, Gary Lineker's comments. Yeah, I haven't got them written down, but he was very positive. I think he actually come out and said, I spy a team destined for the Premier League. Cellar Dwellers says, Gareth Southgate was at Ellen Road spying on our young'uns. Yeah, exactly. And then that comes back to the Moose and Talking Sports saying we're no good for the English... Bielsa taking us to the Prem is no good for the English game because you've got good English managers in there that deserve a shot. All Things Lee says we have the best champions of Europe chant there is, and we have never won a European Championship. Shows. Well, we were cheated out of it, weren't we? And we got the first cup. Yeah, Knee Down says Poch and Guardiola can't wait to pitch themselves against their hero Bielsa. Oh, can you honestly, man? I was saying it today, like when I went in the shop, and the shopkeeper's a Derby fan. And he stood behind the counter and I went, wee! I just walked in like that and he went, look at you, cheats, smug. I was like, fuck off. And then on my way out he went, you going up, aren't you? And I went, it looks that way, son. My mate who's a Borough fan, like I say, I work in Sunderland. I was sat on my computer today and he walked through and I just went, yay! Because it was just a massive win for me. This period coming up was, it's so big, especially after the 2 losses. And then... I just couldn't wait to rub it in the faces, man. Because this is so big, this period for me. This will define us. And the fact we got off to a winning start, an absolutely battered Derby, and we've now got another week till the next game. And also I've got here Izzy Brown. Izzy Brown, you know, I was talking to someone on the bus on the way to the game from the Teesside Whites, and he said he should send Izzy Brown back. I know people have said it to Conor. People have said it on Twitter. No, Izzy Brown for even a quarter of the season is better than no Izzy Brown, believe me. You know, that guy will be able to affect games from the bench when he comes on, when games are tight. And you need these sort of players in the running. And it's going to be a tough running. But he's played for the under-23s today and got himself a brace. Get up, Izzy Brown, man. Let's have a look. LB_siestas, don't think we're realising what we'd be missing if we go up atmosphere-wise. Something so much more genuine and passionate about the championship. See, Leeds won't change. When we go away, we're amazing. The atmosphere in and around the other teams when you go away probably will be dross. You know, I like Everton, but I watched that game yesterday and you could hear the players shouting at one another. That's piss poor. You shouldn't be hearing that on Sky TV. It was dead atmosphere. You know, there's loads of clubs like that in the Premiership. But Leeds won't change. Believe me, we won't change. Not at home. Not a chance. Not a chance. I think, a lot of these big clubs now, they have a lot... Like, look at City, for example. They struggle to fill it on Champions League nights. That, for me, is insane. But City have proper supporters, to be fair. A nucleus, anyway. But then you get all these, travelling fans, people coming to see Scum and all that sort of stuff. Leeds will never change for me. Working man's club, but real people, and it'll never change. You know what I mean? Everyone hates us. We ain't going to be people's second favourite team and that. I just can't see it. It just won't change for me. Not at home. Not at home. Not a chance. And when we go away, we're absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. And we will shock some of them teams. I'm telling you. Honestly, when we turn up, I can't wait. Joshua Tuvi says, we have been doing so well and the haters have been proved wrong. With their all Leeds will get burnt out. They are finding anything to slag us off about grabbing Spygate with both hands, 100%. All things Lee says, just hope we build and add to our current stadium. We don't need a new one. Totally agree. Paul Williams said, ground doesn't hold 37,900 fans anymore. It's 36.7. Well, the club have come out and said 37,900 have been sold, so maybe they've opened it up, fella. Correct me if I'm wrong. Rudy Boy says, don't forget the season tickets though, Joe. But still, man, we've sold out, haven't we? Let's have a look. Yeah, Zero Cool, actually. I was supposed to open up with that, and I'm really, really sorry that I haven't. But I just want to, from all Leeds TV and myself, just want to send my condolences to Toby Nye and Toby Nye's family. Such sad news came out yesterday, and I know obviously it's been done all over Twitter, so, rest in peace, Toby. All Leeds our way. Paul Williams says, let's do it for Toby. Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's do it for Toby. Vinny Smith says, Vinny Smythe, says 19 games left. If we only win 8, we finish on 79 points. That's guaranteed playoffs, in my opinion. It's so close. Vinny, don't even worry about playoffs, son. We're already there. I stopped worrying about that weeks ago. I said that before. Playoffs is done. We're in. Yeah. It's all about getting that top 2. Yeah, Xandro Porso, he says, Philip Million, well said, but he puts everything into perspective, including grown men whining about being spied on. All Things Lee says, don't want playoffs. Now you don't, and I don't think we will, honestly. Josh Baker says, statue of Bielsa outside of Ellen Road. Tom Matthews, Bielsa's attention to detail is incredible. At every youth game too. Even today, look at our youth coming through. Incredible. Exactly. But others would say, them Muppets that we spoke about earlier would come out and say, does he really need to be at every game? What's he getting from that? Can't he? You know what I mean? They're absolute fools. Let's have a look. Oh, Vinny Smythe says, Phil McCracken. Oh no, I got absolutely... Oh, fuck's sake, man. Oh, as if I didn't... Phil McCracken. Oh, what a knobhead. Who done that? Oh, man. Let me see. Hey. Whoever did that, fair play, because you've absolutely put me in the bin. I think I've even gone red, That is quality. Fair play. Oh, as I was reading it as well, how did I not notice? Phil McCracken from the Scottish League. What a knobhead. Okay, fair enough. That's it, guys. It's game over. Folks. Yeah, everyone's having a go there. Natasha Gooding says, "Oi, where's my shout out? Hey up, Natasha and Jack in the Seychelles, part of the All Leeds TV team. Thanks for watching, guys." Josh Baker says, "Do you think Kiko Kasiri is a good signing?" Yes, 100%. I've seen a few people, commenters, have said, sorry, I'm just reading there, someone's put Phil McCracken and his mate Ben Doon. Fuck's sake, man. If you wouldn't have mentioned that in the comments, I'd have probably read that out as well, to be fair. Yeah, Kiko Casilla, absolutely top goalkeeper, 32 I think he is. Listen, he knows the style of play Bielsa wants to play. The fact we're getting him on a free, big up Orta. I know a lot of people hate him. I think he's done a good job, in my opinion, especially this season. He was given a remit by Rads last year, given fuck all really to work with, and brought in some bodies. Some of them bodies were decent. Samu Saiz, for example, that we're getting double what we paid for him. Alioski, you know, the rest are still out on loan. I've just got a text off my brother saying, "Phil McCracken." He must be watching. I'm gonna get absolutely hammered for that. So, you know, and now we've got a different remit. I know, like I said to you earlier, All Leeds TV were in a bit of a privileged position. I know Conor's been chatting to someone, I won't name names, but there's a company involved with the club getting these names to water, who's then sifting through them with Bielsa, and like I say, as well as Casilla coming in, regardless of if he played on the bench yesterday for Real Madrid, he should be done hopefully by Saturday. And will he go straight in? No, that's the thing. I think with Bielsa, he likes the lads to have lean body fat and all that jazz, but you'd think at Real Madrid he's going to be in a much better position than most, to be fair. And the fact he's willing to drop down to the Championship to get games at a stage in his career when he just wants to play games, so fair play to him. And fair play to Leeds getting it when it gets over the line, because I do think it will. Honestly, just like to thank you for all your amazing videos. That was from Beat Mashup 1. Thank you very much, mate. I'm getting absolutely hammered in here. Philip Million said, "I felt silly after the Derby game. I thought it would be a massively tough game. A lot of us thought it would be a lot closer than previous game, but we were in more control." Yeah, agreed. The thing that changed for me was, like I say, we heard Harry Wilson wasn't going to play, but I was on the bus on the way down. Anyone who follows me on social media will have seen. Make sure you do at Joe Wainman _ All Leeds TV and the rest of the team. And on there, there was on the way down there was a bus in front of me, man, like a work bus, and it had Clark on the back. And then moments after, the lineup came out and Pablo was fit, and I just thought, nah, we've got this now. We've got this. And that's, honestly, I was just so happy. David Berry says, "It would turn into a legal battle with the Board of Arbitration for Sport. Even the EFL don't want that." Okay, that's in relation to the other one. Nathan Gaskell says, "Clark is surely starting now, 100%. You would think so, mate. Like I say, we've all been calling for him to start for weeks, right? Conor said it, you know, a lot of people have said it, but I think what he has done is just managed him perfectly. He said a couple of weeks ago in one of his press conferences, he thinks he's managed Harrison, Clark perfectly, and based on recent performances for them both, you have to agree. I think Harrison's just got better and better as the season's gone on in terms of his most recent. Guys, everyone's putting Pat McGroin. I've had another one in. Stop putting him in now, because I ain't going to read anymore. Mark T. Chen says, "New players needed ASAP. Even if Leeds makes it into the Premier in a few months, with this lousy effectiveness, nobody can hold that place. Too many options wasted each game." That's a bit negative for now. We do need new players. I do think we'll get bodies in. We've got a goalkeeper on the way, and I think we'll get 2 more. Winger and an attacking mid. There is actually news today that we are after Daniel James from Swansea, young winger. roughly around about 3 million mark. He's Welsh international. He's scored 1 goal and got 3 assists this season. Not great numbers. I don't know how many games he's started for Swansea. And for me personally, I would much rather see a more experienced head come in. Someone who knows, you know, the BL's way straight in the door. I don't want to be nursing youth from other clubs, in all honesty. I know that sounds a bit like contradictory, obviously Clark and that coming through, but I want bodies that are just going to come in and do a job straight away and hit the ground running and get us to the Premier League. Players like that for the future, fair enough, if we can afford to bring them in, but I think we need, you know, boys ready and raring to go. Jaggy Bab says, sorry Joe, just playing. Nice one, mate. Is that how it was, Jaggy Babs? Yeah? You're getting blocked, son. Reece Durkin question, Joe. Is Bielsa worthy of a statue? Well, it's too early to say, innit? I think no, probably not, let's be honest. But I don't know, like, he's just going to go down in folklore, and he's an absolute legend. Let's see how long he sticks about for. You never know, man. We could go to the Premier League and be in Europe. You know what I'm like, guys? Honestly, we'll go in the Premier League, win the first game, and that's it. Champions League! We're back! Let's have a look. Honestly, man. Plenty of sleep tomorrow night and then Joe if you're off. Yeah, All Things Lee says, get plenty of sleep tomorrow night then Joe if you're off at LS11. Yeah, man, I have to get up at 5:30. That's what I mean. I'm dedicated to the cause, guys. I'm living in Sunderland and I'm driving all the way down to Leeds to get there for 7:30. Honestly, so yeah. Yeah, man, 5 AM starts is what we live for. Let's have a look. Reference shocking display. Honestly, man, I'm trying to read your comments now, yeah, but all I'm getting is different names to read out, for God's sake. Natasha Goodin says, you're being watched in the Seychelles, you ginger bastard. That's what I'm saying, I'm worldwide. Like, what's his name? Pitbull, Mr. Worldwide. 2 goals for Izzy, Gary Keefe, yeah, massive that is. Listen, when him and Bamford get in this side, honestly, it's gonna be unreal stuff. Doron Tua, who's a Forest fan, I know, does some videos on YouTube himself. Basically said great result on Friday. Obviously he's a Nottingham Forest fan. Sorry. Yeah, All Things Leeds. You know, a lot of people saying keep Brown, 100%. Lee Cox says Izzy Brown was on fire today. Strength, pace, a lot. Guys, if I don't know, so sorry guys, my battery again. I don't know if any of you are aware, but there's a game at Tadcaster in a couple of weeks where Leeds are playing Southampton under 23s in the cup. Give that a go, man. That'll be a good game to go to. I wish I was going myself. I asked Conor if he was going, but he's working, unfortunately. Yeah, Danny Winters, imagine Leeds fans with bigger ticket allocations at Premier League. Yeah, yeah. All Things Leeds says expensive now. While we're in the Championship, get ready to spend £1,000 for an 18 to 21 season ticket. I can't see it going up that much, will it? What we're paying at the minute? I pay mine on a payment plan, me. I don't know what we're paying. What's it now for a renewal, a brand new? As I say, I just pay it straight on a payment plan, me. But can't see it going up that much. Doran Tour says Chelsea have got the worst fans when I went to see Forest away in the FA Cup. Frank Butcher says Leeds bottle jobs, not this time around, mate. And what's a bittle job? But he does say we'll do a bottle job. Who do you support, Frank? Tell us who you support. Alex Wilson says only just joined the stream. Rest in peace, Toby Knight. And have you seen that Cassia's partner has followed Leeds on Insta? I haven't seen that. But yes, heart goes out to Toby Knight's family and everyone, as I've touched on earlier. There's a lot on there about that now, so fair play to everyone. It's all one family, isn't it? T.S. May says, started watching Championship after losing interest. Find it more competitive than the EPL and I've regained my appetite. Had to tell my girlfriend I don't have time last Friday, so you binned her off. He's saying he used to manage in Berlin. What you did, T.S. May, go on, lad. Jonathan Rope says thoughts on transfer rumours. Well, I don't know really. Like I say, the Daniel James one, for me, I would prefer someone with a little bit more experience. We do need a winger. I would love to get someone on loan from the Prem, in all honesty. Someone who's fit and ready to go. Can you imagine like a Balassi or something? I know he's at Villa, but someone like that ilk. Let's have a look. Jake Jervis says, what I'm hoping for is when we get in the Prem, we actually spend some dollar to get some class in and contend for top 6. Yeah, can you honestly, like, I just can't wait. I keep saying it, and I've been saying it all season, like when I speak to my brothers or friends, and they're like, oh, do you think you'll get in the Prem? And I've said from day dot, man, and people who watch my videos will say that, and if I end up with egg on my face, fair enough, but I have said for a long time now, it is our time, and I still genuinely, well, obviously I believe that now even more so. I believed it anyway, man. I believe it every fucking season, to be fair. Like I say, I'm that fan that when we're 13th in the league, used to check the fixtures and think, right, yeah, if we lose that one, and they win that one, all right, yeah, we'll get up. Do you know what I mean? But listen, I just can't wait for that. Can you imagine opening day season against Scum at home? Oh, can you imagine? It makes me proper excited, man, honestly. Josh Baker says people on about Leeds going to go straight back down, but can't see us losing. Guy, honestly, we won't go back down. Too big of a club, too much of a draw. We'll consolidate for me, easy first year. I think so anyway. Let's have a look. Frank Butcher said he'd like to see Leeds back in the Prem. Let us know your support, mate. You're having a go, so let us know. What do you think to people buying extra tickets to resell and make a profit off Leeds fans? I don't really have a... You shouldn't... I mean, you can't really make a profit, can you? You're only going to sell them at face value. No one's going to surely pay over the odds for a ticket. I don't know, maybe. I'm not too sure. Philip Million says, Daniel James and Montero linked strongly. Do we need 2 wide men? Listen, we need bodies. We need bodies. Out of the 2 of them, I'll probably take Montero. Like I say, Daniel James, yeah, prospect, but we need someone. We need someone in who's just ready to go. For me, Frank Butcher says easy 6 points for West Ham if you lot go up. Shut up, you slag. Reece Durkin says I've heard we're interested in signing Declan Rice when we go up. Well, that ain't gonna happen, mate. I can't see that. Kiko's wife is following Leeds on Instagram. Done deal, if you ask me. Yeah, I think it's done anyway. The Fat Gillen Ballagers come out. Fillets come out. I think it's done anyway. Let's have a look. What else have we got in here? Lewis says too early. If we get promotion, I'll build his statue. Fair play. Too early what to sit? Nah, I'm not having it. Zubi Zarat says, what an appalling liberty that. My cracking comment was Joe. Sanctions for that guy. I've told him man he's banned, mate. Don't worry about that. Far from Fangoyo says, even the games we lost, Brum, West Brom and Hull, we had over 77 possession. That's where we're going up. Yeah, I mean, what is it, 12? Listen, if we get the first goal in any game, we'll always win the game. I mean, we've played 12 and gone in front first and not lost from that winning position. It's all about that winning position. Natasha Goodin says, say my name right. Sorry, I just like Goodin, man. Sounds better, doesn't it? Sounds exotic. Goodin! Buster Vlog says, we'll fill the Emirates 100%. So Claudio says, I'm not too sure. Claudio says, don't know the source, but I've heard Leeds and Borough are linked with Zardes. What do you think of that? I'm not too sure, mate, who Zardes is. Like I say, I'm so focused on Leeds. Yeah, I see these bodies linked. I'm not sure who that is, in all honesty. But like I say, we've got Transfer Tuesday coming tomorrow, and all the things that are linked. The guys will get them together, and we'll be able to break them down live for you. Damn Facey says, I hope Norwich sell out the Canary Wankers. I think they will. I think they will. It's such a big game, right? I'm almost certain they will. George A. Castillo, he comments a lot. Thank you for your support. Says, hi Joe, go Leeds. Now what? When is Leeds going to get rid of Beers? Other team want him too. Get rid of Bielsa. I can't see it happening, mate. Bielsa's not that kind of guy. He's not a mercenary, is he? He's not Like this, do you remember Gary Rowett when he was at Derby and said it was such a big club, rah rah, and then went to Stoke because of the cash? Bielsa's not that man. I mean, even Pep Guardiola in his press conference today came out and said the fact that he has the humility to drop down to the Championship says all you need to know. He's been ill. He could have gone anywhere, let's be honest. If he'd have contacted a club and said, look, I'm free and available, I want to come to England, I want to come to the Prem, loads of clubs would have snapped their hands off. But the fact that he has the humility to drop down to the Championship, a guy of his ilk says all you need to know. So anybody comes sniffing, he ain't going to take it, believe me. Not a chance. Ollie JK92 says, you're right, Joe, this is our season. 100% it is, mate. Aristotle Grumpus says, Casilla would not be coming if he doubted our promotion chances. 17 appearances for Champions League winner last year. Brilliant signing for only wages. 100%, it's massive. Demar Facey says, take off the hat, son. It's off. Spider on my shoulder, all that jizz again. Yeah. So Philip Millian says, I'd give Carlos Cabran the job after Bielsa. And then my brother's commented saying, breaking news, think Leeds are going to re-sign Radaby and Yeboah and Woodgate and Dorigo. Yeah, mate. So yeah, so that's all your comments, guys. There's loads of comments in there. I just want to touch on a few things. Obviously, we've touched on Spygate. We've touched on the fact that we've sold almost 40,000 tickets in an hour and a half, which is absolutely huge. You know, the Derby game, what a performance by the lads. The fact Jack Clark is the only guy from the Leeds team to get in the Championship Team of the Week is laughable. Adam Forshaw had his best game in a Leeds shirt. Liam Cooper was an absolute colossus. Sorry guys, my battery's going to go soon, so I'll have to tie it up. Cooper and yeah, just an absolute mint performance. And Alioski for me had his best performance in a Leeds shirt. You know, we've got Stoke next. We've got previews coming later on in the week. As I said, me and Conor will be at LS11 Monday morning. Wednesday morning. So hopefully we'll be able to get Ryan to do a little preview with us as well in the Proper Sports studio, so we can get that out for you on Thursday. Then we have got January signings. So you've got Transfer Tuesday, that is coming up tomorrow. LS11 podcast due. Izzy Brown on the way back from injury, 2 goals, absolutely unreal. I've got Casillas done, in my opinion, and no fee. Well done, Victor Orta. We've got the fact that Pep Guardiola is a supporter of Leeds United, and as I say, Lampard today I've got here saying he didn't know that sort of stuff was going down at Chelsea, and I've put underlined wanker. So there you go, that's nice to finish on. But guys, it's been a pleasure as always. An hour today, I believe it's been. Absolutely unreal turnout again from the All Leeds TV faithful. Can't thank you enough. It's been a great show. We've all had a laugh. You guys have made me laugh. Phil McCracken absolutely done me. I'll make sure I read them. I'll make sure I read them properly next time. You absolute knobs. Nah, but thank you so much, guys. It's a pleasure as always. Make sure you hit the like button, and if you aren't already, make sure you subscribe. Obviously, we've got the video as well, the 5k giveaway. We're almost there, guys. If you haven't already, make sure you watch the video and answer the question: in what year were Leeds United formed? Put your comment in that video, and as I say, you'll be in with a great chance of winning that giveaway. And if you're not subscribed, why not? It's absolutely brilliant content. Get it done. But thank you as always, guys. I'm going to go have my tea now, and I might watch Leeds Derby again. Nah, thank you, guys. Honestly, pleasure as always. I keep repeating myself. I'm shit at ending these, but thank you so much. Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.